what's so different about pig butcher scams, and what are they, and how do they do these things? Like the name is jarring. It's like pig butchering. It's not a usual name. It's not like a pump and dump or a rock pool or things like that. It's a very, very hostile name. It's very gruesome. And it does come from the concept that like during farming of the pigs, you fatten them up. So you give them food and nurture them until they get really fat. And then you butcher them and harness the meat. So that's what the scammers are doing, basically. It's basically very similar to the other scams, like the social media scams. Somebody sends you a message. They say, "Hey, are you interested in doing trading or something?" Which we were always making fun of as like, who would fall for such a scam? We know that some people actually fall for those scams, but the reason that were kind of strange for us, it was like, dude, you just sent me a message and you asking me to invest in something, and that's gonna be a red flag. Whatever you do, even if your party is an unaware person, it's going to be like the victim will know that they're not going to invest in something or send money because they don't trust you. And that's like the bug here with the the usual social media scams that kind of shifted toward becoming pig butchering scams now. So they just progress. It's just like the usual social media scams, but better now, but more effective now. And what they do is like they just kind of pretend that they just bumped into you on social media. It's not like as intrusive as the previous scams that you were asking you to invest in something. It's like, hey, John, we should like sorry, I'm gonna be late or something. You say like, I'm not John, I'm somebody else. Sorry, I sent a message by mistake. Sorry. And then they come back the next day, a day after that, and they just send everyday chit chat and messages and try to have a conversation with you. And then you become
Okay.
friends. You're gonna figure out that they live in the same place. Like, if you like living in London, they would say like, yeah, I do live in London too, or probably like in England too. And I'm actually a student here or something. And then they carry on the conversation and they try to be friends. Some of them even become lovers, long distance kind of lovers, because they never see them probably. And other interesting part is like these scams may continue their plan to scam the victim for a really long time too. I've heard of like cases going more than 3 months or 6 months, having conversations, talking to them.
Now that you're saying that, I realized that there were some messages that I recently received calling me with a different name. Yeah, I have been receiving these messages from many beautiful women. I don't know how they found my number, but yeah.
These people do not, like the pig butchering scams, do not intrude in your space. They won't be asking you about like cryptocurrency at all. They're just going to send you a message by mistake. It seems like an innocent, wrong message that you've received. Who's John? This is not me. This is not John here. And they would say, "Oh, but sorry, I seems like I sent you a message by mistake or something." And they will pick up the conversation somehow. They would say that, "Oh, are you in like this place or something?" They're going to take research you, probably even check your pictures and see, "Oh, I see that you've been into this university. So I've been into that university too." So something like that. So you get affiliated with them, and then they start talking and going on forward for a long time, even having calls with them, voice messages, pictures, video messages, video calls. And this is not usual with the scammers. Scammers do not show themselves to you. This is kind of strange. So what they're doing is the scammers either employ people or actually exploit some people for using them in front of cameras and in front of phones to have calls with you, send you messages, send you voice messages, or they deploy like AI software to change their pictures and their voice and everything so they would look like somebody else. And then once they gained the victim's trust, then they would like start their operation. They may hint at like, I've been doing some investing, and it's like with a really familiar and well-known platform or something, and they would lead you to go and use something like Coinbase or others, but that's not, they're not going to scam you with Coinbase, probably. They want to let you know that, okay, you could get money here on Coinbase, and you see it's a legit platform. And the next time they would let you know about a platform, it's not going to be a legit one. They just do it on a very granular scale. It's like with small steps. It's like they're targeting the nature of human beings trusting each other after a while during conversations with each other. So that's what they're targeting. And it is very effective. Or not like small scale
Do you know people who
projects.
have become prey to that?
Yes, a lot of them actually. I have been following up on cases. It seems that most of these scams are actually operated in Southeast Asia, in places like Myanmar, Cambodia. It's like most of these have like they call them like scam center. So a lot of people are go like are working in complexes. So it's like a big, large scale operation of scamming. It's not like a small scale thing. So there's a lot of people. Some of them do that willingly. A lot of them do not do that willingly. Actually, the scammers are like, this is kind of very strange. Actually, the scammers, most of them are not the scammers themselves. So they are like people who are scamming on behalf of somebody else, because like they have been forced to do such a thing. And that's like probably a story for another time. So yeah, I've been following up on some cases and researching stuff to see what's happening with these, with the victims' funds. And the victims' bitcoins mostly go toward the Southeast Asia market, and they get off-ramped into cash in those places like Cambodia. And that's how they're doing their operations. They usually take the money, they don't mix it that much. They just be very quick with taking the money to a different place, which would be an exchange, and then exchanging it to USDT coins or something like that, and then move the money to a few other entities in the Southeast Asian market, and then they off ramp and cash it out there, and they exchange it for cash, or I don't know if they exchange it for other things, probably Bitcoin and others, but in a peer-to-peer way. I'm not sure about that, and they're very good with doing that, because it's an organized crime kind of thing. They have multiple ways of exchanging the funds, cashing them out, moving funds. They employ a big network of like money mules and exchangers and all sorts of things to just not to be caught. So you're not faced with casual scammer, or let's say an enthusiast scammer. It's like you're against top dogs and scamming all over the world. So these kind of scammers have been making billions of dollars in revenue. Actually, some actually reported as more than $10 billion, and it's kind of big. It's kind of scary, because I, as an educator in this space and also a researcher, I've been telling people like, well, you should conduct your own due diligence and do research everything that you want to do and things like that. And the thing is that the scammers are getting much more sophisticated, and they employ methods and tactics. So even if you search things, like you're gonna see legit responses like, yeah, which platform are we using, like Coinbase. If you want to search, you're gonna see like, that's not a scammer, that's okay. So and it's not gonna look like we say scammers will ask for your money and things like that. These ones will not do. These ones will tell you there's a platform out there, you could invest in it, and this is like their tactic to let you know that you're not paying me, I'm not scamming you or something. It's a legit operation. There's a platform out there. It's going to be another platform, which is like less known or not known at all. And that platform will be controlled by the scammers, and they will send funds there, and they will get scammed. So whatever you teach people, they're going to find new
It's
ways.
an arms race. If we go one
Yeah,
step
it's like a
further,
cat and mouse thing or arms race. It's just like it's a continuous thing. They will always find out ways how to scam people, because it's a very, very profitable business for them. There's a lot of money involved. So just as I said, the revenue for these kind of scams only was like more than $1 billion. So that's like a
A
huge
country, I
amount. And
guess.
that's actually more than some other illicit activities market. So I'm not sure, but this may like be equal to the drug market in that region of the world. So you could imagine that criminals would be interested into getting new sources of revenue if they see that there's so much potential for that. You could see that like how interesting and attractive that it would be for criminals to do all sorts of operations and like teams and things like that. So you should stick to your pocket and you should like be very cautious. It's not a safe space out there.